Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today is episode 7 of my Seattle series where I'm trying to create a 1-to-1 scale of the Seattle city in my save game. So a bit about myself is I'm a high school student who's just trying to make some City Skylines videos as a part-time thing, just to really occupy time and just to have a bit of fun and just see if I want to do something in the future revolving around cities. And I just really plan on making enjoyable videos for everyone to enjoy, so everyone can just like the video and be happy. So enough about me, and let's move on to what's happening on the screen. So right now I'm trying to fill in the blocks between South Lake Union and downtown, also known as the Denny Triangle and Belltown. And as you can see now, actually, we are just starting to create a construction site in the Belltown part of where we're building today. And so this is where the Alaskan Way Viaduct went underground after it disconnected downtown from its waterfront. So the Alaskan Way Viaduct was an elevated freeway in Seattle, Washington, that carried a section of the State Route 99 in Washington, and the freeway ran north and south along the city's waterfront for like 2.2 miles, and as you can see, there's a lot of excavators here right now just because they're trying to remove it just because it's an eyesore. And as you can see here, there's also some remains of where the actual highway was, and this is where the local Seattle government is trying to work on removing all the remains to just make it a whole lot friendlier. And instead of now having the viaduct along the front, it did what San Francisco did with their viaduct, the Embarcadero. And so instead what Seattle has actually done is bring it from around Pioneer Square, which is just south of downtown, all the way up to South Lake Union. So they deep-bored a tunnel and they took it all the way through. So now there's no viaduct and you can just see just goes straight through. So here you can see me filling in some of the blocks close to the waterfront in downtown. I'm just filling them in close to the waterfront there so they can get some nice screenshots from the water. Yeah, because it's really all about the screenshots in the end. But as you have probably seen maybe in this series, I am using a lot of foliage assets in this, and I'm using a lot of assets by Green Flame. Massive shout out to them. But basically I'm using a lot of their trees just because a lot of trees that would work in the Pacific Northwest region aren't on the workshop, except for like pine trees, which you wouldn't find in like an urban area. You'll find them more in the forest parts. So I would just like to say that my city won't be 100% accurate, and that could I please be excused if I mess up anywhere and if anything isn't right to what Seattle normally should look like. There's barely any Seattle buildings on the workshop, so it's very hard to recreate. But basically, I think there's around 6 assets, which aren't like duplicates, but like just 6 individual buildings from Seattle, which isn't a lot compared to some other cities like New York or Los Angeles. And so yeah, massive shout out though to Jet Engine at 2049. They just released a building which you might see later in the time lapse, which is the Bank of America Plaza in downtown, which it kind of felt like something was missing there. But the asset finally came out, and so I was able to place it down in my city, and it just feels so much better. And I'm incredibly grateful that they are uploading again because they took a bit of a break. and now they might potentially release more assets, so that's a positive for me, just because I have a better chance of being able to recreate Seattle more effectively. Engine buildings, basically, now what I can do is I can try to create it more effectively instead of using procedural objects, which I'm using a lot. So for example, 2 Union Square, which is, I think, the 4th video on my channel, that has probably around 200 procedural objects, like, just for that one building, just because nothing like it's on the workshop, and there's all these little white squares and rectangles that I have to put in there, and so it's just really time consuming, and like it makes your save game quite laggy, but I'm just trying to create it as effectively as I can. I don't know if this is like a weird obsession or not, but like with the mod procedural objects, I have like around 800 like objects inside from the mod. It's like a pretty big amount, just because basically every building in downtown is a procedural objects building, and as well, just behind, you can see the big black buildings right there. You can just see the Amazon spheres, the Amazon building, sorry, and just, you can, like, those weren't super hard to build, but the mod also, like, procedural objects does also take some time with more complex builds, like 2 Union Square that I did. But yeah, I'm just gonna let the time lapse run for a bit, and so you guys can listen to some music for a bit. So yeah. Hello, I'm back. um, if you're enjoying the content, that you're watching right now, make sure that you, like the video and subscribe to my channel, so that I know you guys like what I'm producing, and, it really just, encourages me to make better content for you guys, just because I know people are enjoying it, and I know people like want to see what I'm building in my save game. Also, that just help boost my channel so I can get more people to see what I'm doing. Also, if you want to support me on Patreon, if you want to support my work on Patreon, that is in the description below, as well as my Instagram, my TikTok, and my Discord server. So yeah, I've been rambling for quite a while now throughout this whole video and been talking a lot, so I might just let you guys enjoy the rest of the video, enjoy the cinematics and the ground level shots, and just have yourself a good day.